Welcome to the City of Quincy Board of Commissions licensees, date December 21st, 2021, 4 p.m. license board hearing. I will read into record the open meeting law. In accordance with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, signed by Governor Charles D. Baker on June 16, 2021, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the Board of License Commissioners will convene via remote conferencing services on Tuesday, December 21st, 2021 at 4 p.m., airing on Quincy Access Television, QATV, on channel QATV 9, Government Access. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Sue, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Castley. Don't see him on yet. Director Duca.
Present.
Chief Jackson.
Present.
Chief Keenan.
Present.
Chair Crispo.
Present.
4 members.
We do have a quorum, so I will go ahead and get started. And first on the agenda is hearing regarding the request of 124 Marymount Road, LLC, for a lodging house license for the premise located at 124 Marymount Road due to a change of ownership. Proposed manager Brian Cooper. The premise is an existing licensed lodging house in the city of Quincy. Brian Cooper, are you on the call?
Don't see him on, and I was in touch with him. His home has been sold because I did see it passed in the paper last week or the week before. So everything was in order and it's currently licensed, and he did submit all the paperwork.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can go ahead and if everybody's okay with it, everything is in order and has been checked out under the regulations. Looking for a motion?
What is it number of lodges, Sue? Does it
It's
say?
a 12-room home. It was previously owned by Julia Wong, who's had owned a couple in the city, but she's been selling them over the last couple years. But it's 12 rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. And I should also put this out to members of the Zoom meeting. If anyone wants to speak on behalf of 124 Marymount Road, whether for or against the lodging house that currently exists at 124 Marymount Road for under new ownership. Seeing none, board members, any other questions, concerns? Seeing none.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of 124 Marymount Road, LLC, for a lodging house license for the premises located at 124 Marymount Road due to a change in ownership. Proposed manager is Brian Cooper. The premises is an existing licensed lodging home.
Second on the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Agenda item number 2, hearing regarding the request of Lamb River Successions LLC, doing business as Shishi Boba, for a common victualler license for the premise located at 1456 Hancock Street. Proposed manager Tam Duck Fan. Proposed hours of operation 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The location will offer sandwiches at bubble tea and coffee. Tam Duck Fan. Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Very good. Thank you. Why don't you tell us what's going to go on there at 1456 Hancock Street?
Yeah, so we are trying to open like a bubble tea and coffee store. And our area is a little bit big, so we want to open on the back of the store has arcade gaming. The concept is very similar with Dave and Buster, but in smaller size. Yeah, so we have like in the front of the store we have coffee, bubble tea, and like a food box like lunch box. And on the back of the store there will be like gaming, video games, arcade games.
Okay, thank you. Anyone on the Zoom call have any questions, concerns regarding Shishi Boba for a common victual license for the premise located at 1456 Hancock Street with bubble tea, coffee, sandwiches, and gaming?
John Rhodafield.
John?
How you doing? John Rhodafield, 62 Grandma Road. Quick question for the applicant. What's the difference between like bubble tea and Lipton tea? I don't like what is bubble tea?
Bubble tea is like it's a concept from the Taiwan. So we actually mix between like the tea, like the jasmine tea, black tea, and we mix it with like some coffee mix, and it's make like two concept like milk. It's milk mixed with the tea, and it's have like some kind of toppings like bubble tapioca bubble inside. So they call it bubble tea.
Thank you.
Okay, still even more confused, but that's okay. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other questions, concerns?
I have a question, Nick. What's in there now? What's presently at that location now?
So right now the space empty for like 2 years because of the COVID. No, before that I believe they opened like a gaming store before, like computer gaming. But right now the whole space is empty, and right now we have to do like everything like renovate the space and try to do everything in the orders.
What do you mean by computer gaming?
I believe I'm not sure before what they actually do.
What are you looking to do?
I'm trying to do like arcade gaming, like Dave and Buster. We buy some arcade gaming, put in the on the back of the store, and people like using the a top cards to pay the game, like an amusement.
Arcade games like Pac-Man and
Yes, it's just like some video game machines, and they use like
pinball.
normally they use coins to play the games.
And how many games you play in?
Because due to the space and the stock, we only put like roughly about 10 games. If you want, I can show you about the plan of the store. We have maybe make it more sense.
Okay, I have no problem with the bubble tea and the sandwiches, but games I have a little hiccup with.
So it is like because we have a big space, so on the back we just try to create like some amusement activities for our clients that can make a little bit more fun for like we want to attract young people to the center of the Quincy. So yeah, that's why we chose arcade games.
Anyone else with any questions, concerns regarding Shishi Boba for a common victual license for the premise located at 1456 Hancock Street?
How many seats will you have in there, Tim?
So right now we are planned about like 36 for the outside. Inside most people don't sit when they play, so inside we don't have much seat inside. So only seat will be located on the bubble tea and coffee side.
So this has an entrance on Parking Way as well, on the back side of the building.
We don't, I don't think on the back side of the building have any parking. It's only have like street parking on the Hancock Street.
So all entrances from Hancock Street.
Yeah, all entrance will be on Hancock Street.
Nikki, is there a special license that you need for the machines? Do you know?
Susan, they do need arcade.
We have like a video pinball license.
Yeah, right.
This wasn't on the application, so I can update that to add that license type if it's approved. They have to use tokens in the machines or a card. You don't put actual cash into the machines. You can't. You have to use a token or a card.
Okay, so the application obviously has had some new add-ons to the application from when it was originally filed. Is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding with the arcades?
Yeah, it was just for the bubble tea, the common vic. It wasn't a reference to the gaming.
Okay, so I would feel comfortable with approving the bubble tea and having an inspector go down and looking at the space and be sure that there's sufficient, electrical, whatever is needed there at the space to provide for 10 machines to run in the back room before we went ahead and approved that part of the application. Do you all agree with me on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm looking at the plans right now. They're pretty comprehensive. I don't have any problem with it. I'm going to ask the architect for a code summary. The detail of the build out is not really clear that it's for a bubble tea shop. It just says, Tam, it just says drop ceilings, but this is a whole floor plan with a little kitchen and a food service area, which is no problem. It's all allowed in the downtown, and there'll be plenty of parking. So maybe we should update. I could look at that, Nicole, and maybe Tam, you could give us a little bit more information on the type of machines. I don't think I have a problem with it, but as the chief says, I think I'd like a little more information on that, and we can continue it for the next hearing, I guess, whenever you think, Nicole. And with more information, I think I'd feel a little more comfortable.
I agree with you, Jay. Tam, would you be okay with continuing this hearing until January 11th?
Yeah, I think everything okay. I can provide so how do you want to me to provide via email? I will send the information. I have a detailed architect design for the whole space. I can send it as well, along with some information about the game that we're gonna put in there, and then where it's located will be exactly. So I can provide those information, and we can continue with the hearing on January.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Is this going to be two separate areas, one for food service and one for the games?
They actually in the same area, but there's no existing door that block two areas. So it's just outside there could be a coffee, and then you can walk into the gaming areas.
Tam, if you would, right? Why don't you just provide a little the drawing that I have here in front of me? Why don't you send that along to Susan?
Yep, and I can forward it
with information on where the games will be located, because it's a wide open floor area. So if you could give a little more detail on the gaming and seating, that would be really helpful.
You want me to send right now, or?
No, send it to Susan. You can send it tomorrow, and and send it to me as well.
Yeah, sure. I will
And
do
then
that.
we can get it out to the rest of the board, Tim, so that everybody can have the same information before we make a final decision on January 11th, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
that sounds
so
good.
agenda item number 2, Lamb River Successions LLC doing business as Shishi Boba is continued until January 11th, 2022, at the request of the chair and the applicant.
Motion to continue the hearing until, at the request of the applicant, until January 11th, 2022.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Tim. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Next is agenda item number 3, hearing regarding the request of Sips and Sweets LLC doing business as Chachi Creamery for common victular license for the premise located at 293 Newport Ave. Proposed manager Mariah Hung. Proposed hours of operation are 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. The cafe will offer counter service and a walk-up window with coffee and ice cream, no seating. Alvin Day.
Hello,
Alvin,
Ariana.
hi, how are you?
Very good.
Good. Why don't you tell us about your premise located at 293 Newport Ave?
Yeah, so it's a small place. It's a 250 square foot location. What we're looking to bring to the location is Asian inspired soft serve ice cream. So more like a matcha, taro flavored soft serve ice cream. Couple of lattes, coffee, with add-ons of like boba.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to open it up to anyone on the Zoom call regarding Sips and Sweets LLC doing business as Chachi Creamery for a common victular license at 293 Newport Ave. John, is that your hand up again?
Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
John Rutherford, 62 Grand Mall Road again. I just want to let the applicant know that, that area down there, or even for the board too, we have to watch out about putting new businesses in a building that potentially, might be getting torn down in the very soon near future. I mean, I thought that whole area is going to be redeveloped. So I just wanted to, and was aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Anyone else on the call, on the Zoom call, have any questions, concerns? Seeing none, board members? Any concerns? Seeing none, looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Sips and Sweets LLC doing business as Chachi Creamery for a common victular license for the premises located at 293 Newport Ave. Proposed manager Mariah Hun. Proposed hours of operation 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. The cafe will offer counter service and a walk-up window with coffee and ice cream, no seating. Represented by Alvin Day.
Second on the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alvin, you're all set.
Good
Thank
luck.
you,
Thank you
everyone.
very much.
Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays to you as well. Agenda item number 4, hearing regarding the request of Schwanke Brothers, Inc., doing business as the Clam Box for 1, a pledge of wine and malt beverage restaurant license, 2, a pledge of stock business assets, and 3, a pledge of inventory, each to Rockland Trust, all with respect to the premise located at 789 Quincy Shore Drive. Attorney Joe Devlin is here to represent. I will say that I don't think that we have to do each one separate at this time due to the fact that it's already existing and therefore may just need one for all. Thank you. Attorney Devlin, if you could please tell us about what's going on at the Clam Box?
Yes, the longtime operator at the Clam Box bought the property too, and in doing so needed to take out and finance through Rockland Trust. And Rockland Trust finances a lot of businesses around Massachusetts, and they require a pledge of liquor license, assignment of the lease, plus a mortgage on the property. So this is being done as part of the financing documents as required by Rockland Trust. As the board knows, it doesn't curtail your powers whatsoever. It just gives them the right to get paid. If they had to foreclose, they would have to go through the board to get permission to do anything with the license.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns from anyone on the Zoom call? Seeing none, board members, any questions, concerns? Seeing none, looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Schwanke Brothers, Inc., doing business as the Clam Box, for 1, a pledge of the wines and malt beverages restaurant license, 2, a pledge of stock business assets, and 3, a pledge of inventory, each related to Rockland Trust, all with respect to the premises located at 789 Quincy Shore Drive, represented by Attorney Joe Devlin.
Second on the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Attorney Devlin, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next on the agenda is agenda item number 5, hearing regarding the request of GB Holdings at Mass LLC, doing business as GoPuff, 65 School Street, for a change in LLC manager from Ryan Grady to Richard Hanna. Attorney Joe Devlin.
We figured you hadn't seen enough of us and might miss us over the last couple of months. So no sooner did this get to the ABCC than the LLC manager, the officer, one of the officers in the entity, left the employment of the company. So the ABCC sent that back as their customers' practice is to require us to do a change of officer and or director or LLC manager, and then marry the two applications together when they get sent back in. I have with me, normally I don't on a change of officer, have of a national company, have the officer with me, but I happen to have Rich Hanna with us today. You can see his good looking picture, and now you can see his good looking face. He's a regional director of operations for the company. He lives in Sharon, Mass, which is one of the requirements. He has to be a U.S. citizen and a resident of Massachusetts, which he is. Other than that, it has no change to anything that we discussed over the past several months.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone on the Zoom call regarding a change of manager for GoPuff from Ryan Grady to Richard Hanna? Seeing none, board members, any questions, concerns? Seeing none, looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of GB Holdings MA LLC, doing business as GoPuff, 65 School Street, for a change in LLC manager from Ryan Grady to Richard Hanna, represented by Attorney Joe Devlin.
Second on the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All set.
Now I'm
Thank you.
going. Have a happy holiday, everybody. Thank you very much.
Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. That does conclude what is on the regular agenda. And now we'll go to other business. Did Commissioner Castley make the call?
I don't see him on
Okay.
here.
I did speak to the commissioner yesterday, and he wanted to be sure to give an update on ordinance 2019-125 prohibiting the use of disposable retail shopping bags. And I did meet with the commissioner, and I did also meet with a representative from the mayor's office, and we felt that it was appropriate at this time to leave that plastic bag exemption from the ordinance to go until the April 1st date, of which time Governor Baker has extended the COVID-19 extinction. So that being said, disposable retail bags can be used until April 1st, unless we hear otherwise. So that's just getting it out there on the record that stores will have to become compliant on April 1st, okay, 2022. Also, in other business is the holiday hours. Retail stores, off-premise licensees may not sell alcohol beverages on Christmas Day, December 25th, but may remain open until 11:30 p.m. on December 24th. On-premise licensees, restaurants may not sell alcohol beverages until noon on Christmas Day, December 25th, and New Year's Eve, Friday, December 31st. I would like to ask the board to take a vote on New Year's Eve hours of operation, proposing 1 hour extension to 2 a.m. on 1/1/2022. This means last call will be at 1:30. No new customers in after 1:30. 2:30, all customers must be out of the establishment. So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to the board to extend New Year's Eve hours of operation until 2 a.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And so just a couple of additional reminders for licensees during the holiday season. Happy hour regulations is what we call it here in Massachusetts, which prohibits certain activities. No free drinks, can't deliver more than 2 drinks to one person at a time, no happy hour pricing. And if you want more details on this, it can be obtained at the city clerk's office or on the ABCC website. And speaking of that, we will be finalizing the annual renewals and we'll review status in January, along with any impact due to revised census numbers that will take effect in January of 2022. So I'll send out an email to the board members, letting them know of any new licenses that will be in effect for January of 2022. Once we review the status of the current ones, and I will pass that on to you all. And looks like that's it for looking for a motion to accept the minutes of the December 7th hearing and waive the reading.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You. And the next hearing will be on January 11th, 2022. Wishing everyone a happy and safe holiday season. Enjoy your families and your friends and stay safe.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Mo-